unlike anything seen in decades. Canada's 25% retaliatory tariffs will hit a wide range of U.S. farm products, raw materials, and manufactured goods. The majority of provinces already taking U.S.-made alcohol off the shelves entirely.
Think of waking up to find out that the price of your next car just shot up overnight. Factories are shutting down, and thousands of American jobs are on the line, all because of a trade war with Canada. What started as a simple tariff dispute has now turned into an all-out economic battle, with Canada striking back in a way that could cripple the U.S. auto industry. Tesla, Ford, and General Motors are caught in the chaos, and the entire supply chain is unraveling fast. The question is, can the U.S. survive this economic shock, or is this the beginning of the end for American car manufacturing? If you've been keeping an eye on global trade, you know that tensions between the US and Canada aren't exactly new. But this time, it's different. It all kicked off when the US decided to slap a 25% tariff on key Canadian exports. Canada didn't take that lightly. Instead of just throwing a blanket response, they played it smart. They went straight for the industries that hurt the most: agriculture, bourbon, sorry Kentucky, and most importantly, the auto sector.
Trump's tariffs will be devastating for the Canadian economy. So many products will be priced out of the U.S. market.
And the impact will be dramatic. It's going to be quick.
More than 2 million jobs are tied to U.S. exports, and the premiers say hundreds of thousands of them could vanish. Ottawa is planning some sort of aid for those affected.
Canada's retaliation is brutal. They've imposed massive tariffs on electric vehicles and critical car parts, completely disrupting the supply chain. And if you know anything about how cars are made these days, you know that parts cross the US-Canada border multiple times before a car is even fully assembled. Now with these new tariffs, that system is falling apart. This is more than just an economic move, it's a power play. Canada is proving that they won't be pushed around, and they're making sure the US feels the pain just as much, if not more. Tesla has been leading the charge for electric vehicles in America, but their success depends on one crucial thing: raw materials. The batteries that power EVs require nickel, lithium, and aluminum, and guess where a huge chunk of those materials come from? Yup, Canada. Without these resources, Tesla's entire supply chain is in jeopardy, and the company is now facing an impossible dilemma. If they can't secure these critical materials at a reasonable price, they'll have no choice but to either raise car prices to cover the extra costs or slow down production altogether. Either way, consumers and workers are going to feel the pain. And it's not just Tesla. Ford, General Motors, Rivian, and every other automaker trying to expand their EV lineup are about to feel the squeeze. The cost of producing electric vehicles is already high, and this trade war is only making it worse. If EVs become too expensive, fewer people will buy them, meaning the industry could take a major step backward just as it was starting to gain momentum.
The industry is so integrated between this country and our neighbors to the south that before a vehicle is assembled, the parts are estimated to have crossed the border up to 8 times. And it's not new. This plant in Windsor, Ontario has been making cars since 1928.
Here's the irony. The US government has been aggressively pushing for EV adoption as part of its climate goals, pouring billions into incentives and infrastructure to get more Americans to switch to electric. But now, this trade war could stall the entire industry before it even has a chance to take off. If battery prices surge and production slows, EVs will become less accessible, and America's push towards green energy could be set back by years. Instead of leading the world in the EV revolution, the US could end up falling behind, all because of a trade war that never should have escalated this far.
The trade that we have between Canada and the United States is fair trade. It's fair, free trade. We aren't the source of the angst.
I'd rather have it done in Detroit.
Well, Donald Trump says he wants the automobile industry moved back to the US from Canada and Mexico. He's promised tariffs starting February 1st.
If you think this is just about Tesla, think again. The entire North American auto supply chain is coming apart at the seams, and the consequences are getting worse by the day. For decades, American automakers have relied on a smooth, tariff-free flow of materials between the US and Canada. Steel, aluminum, batteries, glass, even computer chips. Cars aren't just made in one place. Parts cross the borders dozens of times before they're put together, creating an intricate and highly efficient system that keeps costs down and production running smoothly. Now, imagine adding massive tariffs at every step of the way.
So far, what we're seeing is a lot of cost and a lot of chaos. The chaos is because Ford, like GM and Stellantis, have a lot of exposure in terms of manufacturing in Mexico. And even though the 25% tariff that was initially announced with Mexico and Canada,
every shipment, every part, every material now comes with an added cost, amounting to billions of dollars in extra expenses. Automakers are scrambling, trying to figure out how to keep production running without bleeding money, and the pressure is building fast. Ford is already talking about layoffs. General Motors is slowing down production. Suppliers that depend on these manufacturers are feeling the heat, and small auto-related businesses are bracing for impact. If this keeps up, full-on factory closures might be next, sending shockwaves through the industry. And you know what happens when factories close? Jobs disappear, families struggle, entire towns that rely on manufacturing are left in the dust, creating a ripple effect that could devastate the economy far beyond the auto sector. The longer this trade war drags on, the harder it will be to recover. If you've been car shopping recently, you know prices are already insane. Thanks to chip shortages and inflation, getting a new car is more expensive than ever. Now, add this trade war into the mix, and we could be looking at the biggest price hikes in auto history, possibly the most severe the industry has ever seen.
What's the potential impact of a 25% tariff? And they've gamed it out at $400 to $500 cost increase per vehicle, because each vehicle has between 2,500 and 3,000 pounds of aluminum and steel in each vehicle.
Every single cost that automakers face eventually trickles down to consumers. That means if these tariffs stay in place, buying a new car could become completely out of reach for millions of Americans, especially those already struggling with rising living expenses. The dream of owning a new vehicle might soon become a luxury reserved only for the wealthiest buyers. Even the used car market won't be safe.
GM, Ford, and Stellantis, since the president was inaugurated, the big question is, how much will they potentially pay, both in terms of future tariffs? What's the impact in terms of their components? And look at what's going on when you talk about steel and aluminum and 25% tariffs.
As new car prices soar, demand for used ones will skyrocket, driving prices even higher. With dealerships already facing shortages, this trade war will only make things worse. If supply chains keep crumbling, buyers may soon be scrambling for whatever cars remain. This trade war isn't just about cars. It's about politics, power, and national pride, and neither side is backing down. Donald Trump has long been a supporter of protectionist trade policies, believing that tariffs would bring manufacturing jobs back to the US. But instead of creating jobs, these tariffs are doing the exact opposite, pushing production costs up, forcing companies to lay off workers, and making life harder for the American consumer. The very industries these tariffs were meant to protect are now struggling under the weight of rising costs and supply chain disruptions. On the other side, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau isn't just responding, he's making a statement. He's rallying Canadians around the idea that they won't be bullied by the US, framing these retaliatory tariffs as a necessary stand for Canada's economic sovereignty.
We'll really have to do that because we have very big deficits with those countries. Those tariffs may or may not rise with time.
Mr. President, part of that?
Oil is going to have nothing to do with it as far as I'm concerned. Oil has nothing to do with it.
This isn't just an economic fight. It's turning into a national pride issue, with both sides digging in deeper. With elections on the horizon, neither leader wants to be seen as weak or willing to compromise. That means this trade war isn't ending anytime soon, and both sides are willing to let their economies take a hit just to prove a point. The longer the standoff drags on, the more damage it will do, not just to the auto industry, but to the entire North American economy. If you think auto tariffs are bad, wait until you hear about Canada's real trump card, energy. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.